Hi friends, strangers, internet. My name is Emily, even perfectly am. I love colorful makeup and colorful language, and I have a new hair color. I am living my neon green dreams, and it's time for another episode of new makeup nonsense bingo. I have to be honest, I don't feel a lot of, I'm struggling to film. I just feel like the makeup is so boring. And I know that's what I often feel, but I'm gonna try. We're gonna try to get through this together in a way that is entertaining or something. If you haven't been here for a new makeup nonsense bingo, this is one part new makeup release video, one part bingo game, and one part drinking game. I have an Irish iced coffee because I'm filming, editing, and uploading this all on Thursday/Friday morning. So, procrastinators, unite! Tomorrow. We'll meet tomorrow. New makeup nonsense bingo is an idea that I came up with, I created, and launched it in conjunction. I launched it with my dear friend Teresa. Teresa is dead. And along the way, Audra at home has joined the party. Some of y'all may be noticing Audra is on a bit of a hiatus for however long it lasts because their work situation is very rude. So I will probably continue to mention them in the introduction, but they may not have videos in the description box. It's just habit. If I stop mentioning and change, I don't want to do it, okay? Anyway, so yes, if you're new here, if you came over from Teresa or from Audra or from just the random internets, hello, I would love for you to say hi in the comments. I also will say, if you like colorful makeup, if you like bitches with lots of opinions, or you just like cute fat babes, I would love for you to subscribe. So if you haven't been here before, we have a big kind of like group pile of releases, is how I like to say, that we pull from at random. So we're gonna show you, I'm gonna show you all of the possible releases I might talk about in this video. If I don't get to one of the releases and you want to hear my opinions, you can leave me a comment in this video and I will attend to it in next week's hangover video. Cheers if you're drinking along with me. Let's jump right into this. I am not one to typically start with something like a fucking bronzer. I mean, when I can try, cause like, who fucking cares? But Bobbi Brown, Jones Road, get the fuck out of here with this range. So Jones Road has launched, or is going to launch, has announced the bronzer. It's a silky powder that adds instant warmth to the skin, sheer and buildable. It can be used to give skin a natural tint or for color correction in 7 shades, $35 each. Y'all copy pasted at least 5 of these colors. This is, look, this is bad. This is bad. And like Jones Road is the newer product or newer brand from Bobbi Brown. From the brand Bobbi Brown. But you know better. And I don't even know if like they're I don't even know if the Bobbi Brown line like does decent ranges. Probably not. But this is no. Get out of here with that. Get out of here with this. Get out of here. On a quick note of eye candy, I am drooling. Eye candy, the new release or reveal from Glaminatrix. They're releasing holographic multi-chrome singles. They, as of this post for Makeup Release Radar, have shown 4 of the shades, and they're going to have 6 total. These look pretty, but I have been having many a thought and conversation about holographic shadows lately, because everything that I have seen has shown that don't spend your money on the Touch of Glam ones. But I've also in general seen over the years a lot of pressed holographic shadows look a lot more impressive in the finger swatch than they do in actual application on the eyes. And I think that's a fairly true statement for a lot of shimmer shadows. I will give Glaminatrix credit though, because this post makes me drool in that give it to me mommy kind of way. And my ace soul kind of just was cringing. I couldn't even, okay, we're gonna be past that, but it's pretty. It feels like all the multi-chromes in that like they feel like multi-chromatic shades with like holographic sparkle in them. One of these days I'm going to have the money and the patience to finally try Glaminatrix. Maybe. One of these days. We're not there yet. I'm not there yet. Financially especially. But like, well done. I'm going to give that to you right now. Well done. I feel like KVD has been releasing a lot lately. So let's talk about the releases. And I don't mean a lot in like a bad way, like, oh, too much. I just feel like I've been seeing a couple of things. And maybe it's really just 2. Maybe just 2. But first up is this foundation. So, oh shit. I didn't realize the foundation already launched. So KVD has the new Good Apple Full Coverage Transfer Proof Serum Foundation. All of those words don't make sense together because serum foundations are not typically full coverage, nor are they typically transfer proof. Transfer proof, and what? It's $42. Full coverage with a natural finish. Transfer proof, extreme long wear with a lightweight serum feel. 40 shades. There is the apple extract in it. There's quince leaf extract, which help keep shine in check instantly and all day. So it was available. Now, according to this Transtopia post, all shades are sold out on the website. It's restocking and coming to Ulta and Sephora on February 6th. Here's the thing. So I think that the packaging on this foundation and on the Good Apple are pretty. Like, it's not like my aesthetic, or it's not like made for me, but I think it's pretty. And I will say I am curious about this foundation. I don't know if the Good Apple, I don't know if I feel like I kind of felt it in my soul pretty early on with the Good Apple to like stay away. This one, I will look, like even the good reviews of the Good Apple, I was like, it was not a me product. Now, if this is serum-y, but also a fuller cover. Like, I could maybe consider it. We'll see. I'm curious to hear other people's thoughts about it. I mean, I do feel like there is some level of like olivey, maybe yellowy tones in the foundation, which also do intrigue me. Not all of the swatch arms are model thin or traditional model thin, so there's that. I'm not gonna say, you know, but like, and actually the models that they have, like, there are things KVD does as a brand that I'm like, I'm into that. And then there are still other things that feel, they're no longer in the like, absolutely the fuck not, stay away from me. But they're not an enthusiastic yes for me yet. I will be watching reviews of this foundation because here's the thing is I really have like, I'm not a foundation person, but I'm still curious about them. And I want like one really good solid one in my collection. And I don't have that right now. I'm also just a makeup goblin. So I'm making reasons for things. But I'm intrigued. But I also would say, you know, having seen the original Good Apple kind of virality, I'm taking everything with a lot of salt. I am putting this in a tentative, same shit, new packaging space. This is me being like conspiratorial because I'm curious if this is just like an older foundation formula that they are relaunching in this new packaging. You know, pulling a Tarte, pulling a lot of what brands do. I'm intrigued because I think that the packaging, I know from seeing comments and, you know, all that like the packaging is getting people. So that's my little like, maybe it's doing that. Maybe it's doing that. Now the other KVD release that I saw that did give my heart, got a little palpitations. There are new shades of the KVD Everlasting Hyperlight Transfer Proof Liquid Lipstick. There are 8 new shades. Now, the whole like hyper light liquid lipstick, is this, I feel like this is the original liquid lipstick formula they had, just rebranded. The thing that I think is weird, okay, the thing that made my heart skip a beat, Medusa's Head. That shade of green in a lipstick, fuck me up. But I'm not super into liquid lipsticks. And the last time I tried to have a moment with the KVD ones, I did before times. And not for me. So yet again, it's like, I see you, but I don't want to see you. But I see you. But I do think there's a weird thing happening here where I think it's weird. So Hot Mess Tom made was posting on their stories about this and asking if you didn't know what this was, can you recognize what the product is? I recognize it because I know that KVD has always had that super long doe foot liquid lipstick packaging. And so I already identify it that way. But I do think it's odd how I think the dichotomy of the packaging between the like foundations and the liquid lipstick, it's a weird thing for me. And I think if they leaned into what they were doing in the foundation kind of area with their lip packaging, I think that would be more of a win. Or even the tattoo artist packaging that they did for their holiday collection for the palette. Like the branding and kind of like the vibe of the brand still feels off to me. So Medusa's Head, the name, the color, just me might buy that. I will probably regret it because of my distaste for liquid lipstick formulas. But I'm a curious bitch and I'm a green goblin. I just have to say, I'm kind of giggling at the fact that Selfless by Hiram is going to be sold in Target and Ulta now. Too little too late? Or am I just the jaded ass bitch? I thought it was funny because in my influencer tea get ready with me, I did have some people in the comments saying like, why was that brand in Sephora in the first place? They're also dropping the price like just a little bit, just a couple dollars. For me, it feels like too little too late, but feel free to tune into that video if you want to hear more thoughts that I have about Hiram. Well, let's talk about a couple of brands that have like piqued my interest with specific releases. Or, well, Kofi first up. So they have piqued my interest with their concealer. They are releasing the Mindy Moment Long Lasting Radiant Cream Blush. It's $28 and there are 5 shades. I have to say, I think the color choices are interesting because there's this like there's like 2 shades of pinky purple. There's Lucky Lotus, the bright juicy purple. There is Blessed Berry, which is more berry but has a little bit of a cool pinky purple undertone happening. Garland Glow looks like a peachy orangey tone, Sandalwood Swirls, and Pinky Promise. The tubes are giving me paint tubes, Glossier Cloud paints, all of that energy. I keep seeing the brand getting I'm intrigued about the brand is what I am trying to get to. I've heard great things about the concealer. I don't know if the current range of concealers goes light enough for me, which is okay. I'm still curious. They also have eyeliners, and I think blushes are one of the newest things that they have done. Like, it's a pretty small brand is what I'm trying to get to. I'm not specifically intrigued by this release. I think it's pretty. I think it's a nice, well thought out release for a small brand or a newer brand. But for me, it's not like grabbing me. But have y'all heard about Kofi? Do you have experience with it? I'm here for the branding. I'm here for the energy behind the brand. But I just haven't used it myself. Now, a brand that I know a little bit more about, but also have never bought from and haven't felt super compelled by is the Mitchell brand, or is it Made by Mitchell? Made by Mitchell. So they have these new eyeliner pencils, all smudge, no budge. It's the marketing photos. I had a similar gut, like pitter patter of my heart. I guess my gut, my heart, whatever. Same difference. When I saw Lime Crime release some bright, colorful pencils, I don't know, sometime in 2022. But the marketing on this just grabbed me. First of all, that one acid green matches my hair. Green, actually both of the greens in that image, the purple, the pink, like these are very pretty. I will say, I think for pink, purple, red, orange, the LA Girl Shockwave, the lip liners, just using the eyes, are great. I still don't have like ride or die green eyeliners that I love. So of course my heart reacts to it. I'm going to stay away just because I just don't want to spend money. I don't want to spend that kind of money on eye pencils, but like, that imagery has my name written all over it. Yeah, I know it's just a pencil swatches, but it's in rainbow order and it's bright and juicy and like, sometimes I'm a very simple person. I'm giving the Kofi release a food themed makeup release because Kofi is an Indian dessert. It counts. It counts. And I am going to say put it on my face for the eye pencils. Leave me alone. Shout out to folks that have been tagging me in Instagram posts to talk about releases. I'm trying to sprinkle them in where I can, and anything I don't get to today I will talk about in the hangover. but the new palette from Beauty Bay is one that somebody tagged me in. So this is the Retro Love palette. Look, for me, this color story doesn't excite me. I'm not a huge turquoise lover. I don't really care about the browns. I understand why Beauty Bay palettes sell. I think their price point is a delight. I don't feel inspired by bigger palettes. And even when there's some colors in there, I have a bigger palette and it's full of like half of the palette are colors I don't enjoy or wouldn't like feel inspired to reach for, I feel some silly grudge energy about it where I'm just like, nah, why would I pull that palette out when like half of it makes me go, like it just doesn't make me feel good. And my makeup is about making me feel good. Like, it's the whole point. So yeah, I saw some of the swatches, or I've seen like some of the shimmers swatched. I think they're pretty, but like, y'all, I bought the Wilderness palette, which has a bunch of green and mustard tones. That should have been Emily bait. And I literally don't use it. The formulas are fine to me, but they're only fine. And I have all of those colors in other formulas that excite me more. It literally gets so neglected. It's the size of the palette. The formulas are fine. I don't know. It's like, I'm not mad at these palettes for existing, but they are generally not for me. And sometimes I think that the color stories are straight up undesirable. I said what I said. Now there's another indie brand that I feel like is kind of falling into this trap of too big palettes. And my initial intrigue in the brand has waned because of that. Simply Posh Cosmetics is releasing the Berry Ice palette, which is basically a half blue, half red palette, which I don't think it copied the Nomad palette, but like Nomad just released that Verona palette, which but this so Simply Posh first came on my radar kind of recently with their like Fairy Garden palette. The thing I really like they do, their pans, their palettes are magnetic, so you can pop the shades out and like rearrange or use them as singles or whatever. And that palette I thought was interesting because I think it was like matte shimmer matte. It was, you know, there was something about it where it was like, I like the layout. This palette feels very redundant. You know what? I didn't talk about the Nomad palette because I'm not particularly a fan of Nomad. But my issue with the Verona palette was that the red side looks almost all the same. The shimmers and the mattes, like some of them look very, very, very close. Whereas the blue side I felt like looked more intriguing. This palette, the blue side looks very similar. Like I can see at least 2 mattes that I would edit out, and that's out of 9 shades. And the warmer side, or like the pinkier red side, I do like that there's like berries and warmer reds and then some browns. I don't know, I don't love big palettes, and I think, and I've said this all the time, and I'm gonna keep saying it all the time, and I've said it about Nomad, and I feel the same way. I think when you are releasing, I've said it about Blend Bunny, I keep interrupting myself. I've said it a lot. When you keep releasing big palettes, I feel like they look more and more and more like each other. The 18 pan size, I think it gets repetitive really quickly. And this one just, it's very like whatever to me. And I don't like feeling that way, especially about indies. I find that the indies, they excite me more than mainstream. And so when they make me feel meh, I'm like, oh, okay. I have not been playing bingo. Let me catch up. I'm calling the B2A palette an oversized Morphe palette because it's not as bad as, but also, no, we'll do it. I am calling the Iceberry palette a bit of a catfish because I think with that palette size and that color story, it feels more interesting and dynamic than it actually swatches out to be. And I felt that way about the Nomad one as well. And I also think I talked about Selfless by Hiram. I'm giving that the even more skincare square on the card. Am I doing all this because I'm hoping to hit bingo soon? I am. So, Miss Denono, who uses leaking their product releases as marketing, has properly revealed the Love Face palette. This is, Valentine's release. It's a 5-pan eyeshadow palette, and then it has 2 face products. Multi-use palette showcases buttery, soft eyeshadows paired with a cream blush and highlighter inspired by the need for taking a look from day to night. I'm going to admit that when I see the computer manufactured swatches, I think that this is a pretty little release. But when I realize that what I'm looking at is not 7 eyeshadow swatches, but it's a blush, highlighter, and 5 eyeshadows, of course I have criticisms. Another golden highlighter? Okay. To me, Valentine's Day is the blush holiday. The way this would have been so much more versatile and interesting, in my opinion, would have been a deeper berry blush and this lighter pink blush. Even if they're both creams, maybe the deeper one is more of a natural finish cream blush, and the lighter one has some glow to it. I don't hate the concept, but I think the execution of all of them has just, because she's done previous ones too, I don't like it. And I think this is finally, I've been doing a lot of overhead, build your own palette kind of videos, and I have these beautiful lethal blushes that I raved about in my top 10 of 2022 video. This is what I'm talking about. If these are both glowy blushes, but these two, a deeper tone, and then this lighter, even something with more pigment than that, I think would have been so much more exciting and interesting. And can you imagine the blush draping marketing photos, the models and the, but this just feels so, even a pink highlighter would have made way more sense in here. Y'all know, I'm not inspired by this brand anymore if I ever was. But I still want it to be good, and I don't know why. We can't escape the holidays, whether it's Valentine's Day, Lunar New Year, Christmas, Halloween, I don't know, always holiday makeup. So it's more holiday makeup. It's just frustrating because also she's done pretty blush and face palettes before, but this was also ages ago. The Bloom one with that deep berry cream blush, that revamped. As somebody that is job hunting and also has a loud mouth on the internet, makeup brands, hire me, okay? Please. I have a lot of ideas. I don't want to start my own business, but I would love to be paid to brainstorm makeup ideas and color stories. The dream. Anyway, it's fine. More holiday bullshit. Look, I feel like there are many times where my judgment of a shade range is off. But seeing the swatches of this Makeup Revolution, the new Revolution Beauty IRL Filter Finish Concealer. That feels very off. Stop. It's not a filter IRL. It's not. Filters. It's not that. It's just not. It's not going to be that. And I don't like that name because my first thought is that people, especially younger people that buy this concealer, are going to expect some fucking magic on their face, especially when we have the beauty TikTok space. And they're seeing a filtered shit and it being, you know, marketed as, I don't know. I don't like it. Makeup Revolution, go away. And like also the shade range is, get out of here. So I saw this post and it gave me a lot of feelings. So this brand, Milfie, which only has a couple of posts on Instagram, so I don't know how new they are, but they have released 4 6-pan palettes. It's a painting collection, and they have these look really pretty. Not the act. It's the packaging. So they have the woman with a parasol. So they have the woman with a parasol. I cannot say that word. They have a They have a woman with a parasol, Madame Monet and Her Son by Claude Monet palette. They have the portrait of Irene Khan de Anvers by Pierre-Auguste Renoir. They have bouquet. This post is. I'm sorry. I'm actually not that drunk, but it's just my brain. Bouquet of Chrysanthemums by Pierre-Auguste Renoir and Girls at the Piano by Pierre-Auguste Renoir. So these are total Anne palettes, in my opinion. But like, this is what K-Lab should have been. There is something so, I don't know. I just really, I mean, the packaging doesn't look perfect to me because I think they're like boxes where the lid comes off completely. And I'm not necessarily in love with the actual color stories inside. But there's something about this that just feels so, it's like lovely and it draws me in and it makes me curious. I'm also like an art nerd, and so I don't know. Like, I think because I wanted a lot for that brand, which has closed or is closing, that when I see other brands attempting this, even if the color stories aren't for me, it does like make my heart go a pitter patter. There's still Total Anne palettes. But I'm gonna be watching this brand, I have a feeling. So, a perk of being a procrastinator is that sometimes you see release reveals that you wouldn't have seen if you filmed on Wednesday, which is really more ideal for not being stressed out by the process. So let's talk about Isamaya. I have considered taking a shot for this conversation, but I'm 38. Shots are a bad idea. So first up, when I was looking through the images last night, I saw the sneak peek and I was like, okay, what do we have going on here? So I'm going to show that first on the screen. So this was posted by Makeup Release Radar 2 days ago. It says Isamaya 020223, and then there is an image of 3 models. Is one of them Isamaya? I think on the left, with the word lips and a blurred out something in the center. All of these shocked faces. So I can't say that I assumed something sexual when I saw that. Because like hindsight makes me feel like, oh, obviously. But when I saw that, I was like, okay, that's interesting. That's interesting. And I did have an affinity appreciation for the BDSM and the piercing related inspiration for the first collection. The second collection was very whatever for me. And I saw it was going to be revealed today. And so I was kind of like, let's see. Yo. What is this release? Okay, I'm having a dramatic reaction, but okay. Let me talk through. So what was revealed are these new water bombs. They're not lipsticks. Midnight Trance water bomb in Vanity from the Lips collection. It's a sheer black glaze that drenches lips in a glossy veil of mesmeric shine. Housed in gunmetal packaging, the wet pigment technology melts upon contact with the lips, gliding on with a soothing water-like feel. A reverie of light-reflecting pearls hangs suspended, giving a fuller, more luscious appearance, while a unique rice wax base clings to the lips for long-lasting luster. It's vegan and cruelty-free, made in Italy, and there are 2 shades. There is a black and there is a red. And they are housed in, the red is housed in a silver phallic container, and the black one is housed in a black phallic container. I just realized I should have, oh God, is YouTube monetization gonna fuck me over? Oh, God damn it. Just a visual, not even me saying the words. They have announced that Isamaya is proud to announce that we will be supporting Planned Parenthood for the duration of the Lips collection. Isamaya's direct donation will help advance Planned Parenthood's mission, which is to provide sexual and reproductive health care and sex education to all people across the U.S. And they are $95 each. So I have seen a lot of conversation around this release. I tried not to read too much, but I did read some. I kind of don't care. Like, so I think something to keep in mind, because transphobia in the beauty space is rampant, is that penises are not directly tied to masculinity. So there's that. And masculinity is also not like the antithesis of beauty and makeup. But like, in case you were feeling some kind of way about that, you do not have to have a uterus to be a woman. You do not have to have a penis to be a man. You can be a woman with a penis, a man with a uterus. There's a lot of different configurations. Oh my God, I need to stop talking. But I'm not, okay. Like, I think the only thing that comes to mind that feels very, multiple people have said, if it's gonna cost $95 and be that shape, it better come with batteries and vibrate. It shouldn't come with batteries. It should actually come with a rechargeable function. That's the only thing with a phallic shape that I really bring into my home. I wouldn't want that lipstick just even for like a collector art piece. But it's because, like, I don't really find body part. I don't cut, like, no, thank you. And also, I'm not in the market to spend $95 on a lipstick. I'd rather not. Like, it doesn't offend me. But I just personally would rather not. So this is actually good. This is gonna give me bingo, as it should. I mean, I could have just ended there. I could have. I'll just talk through this one thing that I have seen, and it will give me bingo. And it does intrigue me. So let me find the post. Sephora collection. So Sephora collection has, I think, revamped their face powders. They have the colorful luminizer face illuminating powder. Calling it colorful is a stretch. They have gold, honey, pink flash, and bronze. And then they have the colorful blush powder blush. And those come in 11 shades. It's kind of a weird number, but okay. Here's the thing, is like, I've actually heard the Sephora blushes are really nice. I feel like Sephora collection keeps reformulating their brand, like, really often. And so it's hard for, like, I'm intrigued by them, but also, like, what the fuck are you doing? I do think that the highlighters are giving me, like, Clinique energy with the embossing and the clear packaging. But the blushes intrigue me. I think the fact that they have different color packaging and they do have some pretty punchy colors in there. I don't know. I feel like, you know what? I might be ending this bingo the way a lot of cis straight men end their escapades. With a whimper, not a bang. Because it looks like pretty embossing for the highlighter, but basic makeup. And, like, I'm intrigued because they are in some capacity accessible to me, but have, like, very little compulsion to actually form a stronger opinion or speak on them further. So yeah, that's it.
That's all, folks.
That's the bingo. I still am thinking about the Isamaya release, and, like, I don't have, like, a prudishness about it. Like, if you want to have dildos and vibrators and things like that on display, cool, fuck yeah. If you want to have art pieces with phallic or whatever thing, go for it. I just don't want a lipstick that looks like that. I would rather have the first launch with the, like, Prince Arthur piercings. I would rather have that. Hell, I would rather have the horse on the end of my lipstick. But it's just because it doesn't feel like, it feels like shock marketing to get us to talk about the release, which you did it. Yeah. Oh well. We can have a respectful conversation in the comments about this, because I am curious to hear your thoughts. But don't be transphobic. Now, on that note, thank you so much if you have gotten all the way through this video. Definitely leave me a like or a comment or subscribe if you haven't already. I want to thank my patrons, my channel members. That is an amazing way to support me further if anybody watching feels so inspired, and everybody that hangs out over my Patreon and my channel membership. Y'all are the greatest. That's it. Take care of yourself better today than you did Oh my God. That's so hard for me to say. Take care of yourself better today than you did yesterday because you are worth it. Bye, friends.